Hi everyone, we're going to make a quick YouTube practice test on integers in 2020. We've got a lovely girls class here, 8H. And just quickly, Louise is going to go through question 1 with me. No, she's not. So I won't single out. I'm going to go through this, and girls, you're marking this as we go. I've got a few girls who are going to share some things with me. First of all, correct sign. Less than or greater than. Now, I think Pip, someone had a mnemonic who helped us remember which way it goes. Zara, did you want to talk to me through that?
So ours was that the sign, it always, like, if you think of it as like an animal, like a crocodile or something, it always eats the bigger number, or like the bigger opening is like towards the bigger number.
Okay, so the -4 is hungry and it eats the 2. That's what you're saying. Okay, so the -5 is smaller than the -1. So the -5 wants to eat. Well, that wants to eat crocodile. Okay, there's my little teeth there. And likewise, we can do this for 0. Is what? Which side wants to eat which? Does the -1 want to eat 0?
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. There's your crocodile. Okay. I just like to think of it is this is less than and this is greater than. Okay, but hey, if that helps you remember it, thank you, Zara. That was fantastic. Okay, so that means please give yourself a mark, 1 mark for each, because -4 is greater than -4.5. Okay, fill in the spaces below. Now you've got to understand that we've got here that we go from -4. You've got to look at, okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jumps. If I've got 5 jumps, I'm actually adding 1, which means that we go to -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, which means that must be 2. Going back the other way is -5. Okay? All right, give yourself a mark out of 2 for that. Here is a part of a number line, right? The missing numbers. Okay, now you've got to be very careful. Here is 0. So we're going up in, what are we going up in? You can shout it out. We're going in 5s. So 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Okay, now if I go left side of 0, we are now looking in the negative realm, aren't we? So -10, very good, girls. There is no working required for that. You simply just either get it right, get a 1 mark, or you get it wrong and you get 0. Rose, you had a question. Oh, you sure? Okay. Now, just quickly, I'm going to go through, George is going to go through 4G with me, but just quickly, girls, when you're adding and subtracting numbers, 5 take away 8, a lot of the time when you do these, if you're struggling, you might want to go back to 0 first. You could take 5 away and then you could take another 3 away. Now, if you went back to 0 first, the answer is -3. If you write that, no real working required. Likewise, I'm looking at the number line. So over here, I'm going to add 3. So I'm adding 3. If you can use your rulers, number line, think number line if you're making mistakes. Okay, which means that -5 plus 3 is -2. Okay, I don't need working for that. Okay, what I will need working for though is this. A negative times a negative is a positive. So that becomes now 12 plus 8, which is 20. If you showed me that working, I'm more than happy. Okay. What about this one? Here we go. A lot of girls will say a negative plus a negative is positive. No, it's not. We go to the number line. What's the answer, Ruby? What did you get? So that's if you're multiplying 2 numbers. It's
-7.
It's -7. Very good. Okay, so I've just lost that for the time being. Rubes. So what we're doing is we're adding 2 negative numbers. It's not multiplying them, okay? All right, now, -12. What's the answer to this, girls? We can do this. -12, take away 4. -16. Think about the number line, okay? No need to show me any working for that. I do want to see working for this because Zara wrote 153, didn't you, Zara? Yeah. Okay, and if you wrote 153, you get a big whopping 0. But if I change a negative times a negative is a positive. That becomes positive 90. Now just remember, oops, why am I writing a 60? Anywho, all right, so that's positive 90. Now, get the bigger number, 90 take 63, I think is easier than doing minus 63 plus 90. What's 90 63, take 63, girls? Molly? 27, well done, Molly. Okay, Georgia is going to come over here. Oops, now just quickly, Georgia.
Yes.
Okay, just quickly, we're still recording. Okay, we've got about 6 minutes left. Okay, Georgia, did you want to explain this as we go? Now, just quickly, I'm just going to. Okay, Georgia, talk into the microphone and talk us how you do this one here.
Okay, so let's break it up. So 26 minus 38 is negative 12.
Okay.
Now let's do the next part. So what's 12? Negative 12 plus 14. Oh, damn it. Plus 14. And that is equal to 2.
Very good.
Now let's do 2 minus the last part. So that's here. So 2 minus 9. So 2 minus 9 is indeed negative 7. So that's our answer. That's one way of doing it.
Well done. Give everyone a round of applause. Give Georgia a round of applause. Well done, Georgia. That was well explained. You'd make a good teacher too. All right. Now, negative 2, we need something in here which is going to give us 6. Okay, so it's actually negative 8. And I'll show you why, because negative times a negative becomes a positive. 8 is minus 2 plus 8. Is that equal to 6? Yes. So the answer mark, 1 mark if you got negative 8 in there, girls. Okay, it says circle 2 numbers which have a difference of 2. Well, first of all, a difference of 2 is if I subtract one from the other and I get 2. Now, would you agree that 1.5 if I subtract 2 from that would be negative 0.5? That would be, is there anything else we could do? Okay, so we could also do or this. I would accept any one of those two answers. If you did negative 1 and 1, or likewise the other one, you get your mark, please. So give yourself a score, please. What is the difference in temperature between, now, the difference in temperature, London and Paris? What you want to do is the difference. The word difference should mean that we're subtracting one from the other. Now, it doesn't matter which one, but let's do the larger one. Paris is 6 degrees, and I'm going to subtract, what am I subtracting? Minus 4. Okay, so what is the difference in degrees then? So that's plus 4. Okay, so it's 6 plus 4 is positive 10. The difference is there's 10 degrees between the two. So the answer, with some working, I think is also that there's the working. At noon, the temperature at New York has risen by 5 degrees. Now let's have a look. New York is minus 9 degrees. If I add 5 degrees, how many degrees do I have? Minus 4 degrees, absolutely. Well done. Anna, did you want to go through something in question 7? Which one? Okay, Anna's going to go off. Just remember, don't touch anything other than in this area. Okay, off you go. Explain what you can do, as many of them as you like, Anna.
So a negative plus or times a negative is a positive.
Close there, because there's a microphone there. Yeah.
So that means 5 times 3 is 15 because it's positive.
Positive 15 is the answer. Very good. Okay, do you want to keep going? Okay. All right, so a negative times a positive is, Ruby, what did you have?
What? Which one?
For that one?
Negative 48.
Yes, well done, Ruby. Well done. 42 divided by 6. Well, what's 42 divided by 6? What's a positive divided by a negative, Louise? What's a positive divided by a negative, Louise?
A negative.
Okay, so therefore, if I had 42 divided by negative 6, You could just go 42 divided by 6 is 7, but hey, it's negative 7, isn't it? Same thing. Girls, likewise, negative 72 divided by 8, negative 8 is it's positive 9. Negative divided by negative is a positive. Likewise, you can then, that is negative 3. Girls, I'm going to get you to do this really quickly. This one you've got to break down. Negative 2 times negative 2 is... Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. Now, what's that times negative 2? This is a tricky one. What's 4 times negative 2? Okay, negative 8. Then what's negative 8 times negative 2? It's positive 16. Okay, that's a tricky one, but it's only worth 1 mark. Likewise, I want to see you do this. I see girls writing minus 12 here. Okay, I'm sorry, but you've got to break this up. You really can't do this any other way other than multiply itself 3 times. Okay, that is going to be negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. And if I had 16 times negative 4, it might take you a little bit to work it out. It's negative 64. Okay. Let's do this one. A negative times a negative is positive, so it's 12. But then I've got minus 2. What's my answer? Negative 6. Well done. What goes inside here? I've got a something divided by a negative. Is that going to be a positive number in there or a negative number? Okay, Eva, what's the answer? What's the answer? What goes inside that box?
36.
36 is correct, Eva. Well done. Okay. Now, over here, we're doing BODMAS. I say BODMAS, Americans say BIDMAS, you say potato, I say potato. Yeah, same thing. We work from left to right, and we do everything in brackets first. Then we do division and multiplication, and addition and subtraction. So we have to do the division first. Yes, we go left to right, but we've got to do that first. So 18 divided by 3 is 6. Okay, we have to take the sign. Now we just have minus 12 plus 6, which is indeed minus 6. That is working out. That's all the working out I need to see. Let's work left to right. What goes inside the first bracket, Eva?
18.
18. Okay, so then we're dividing by work out what's in the next bracket. Yep, so minus 2 to plus 5 is 3. So I want to see that line of working, girls. Now, do I add 3 and 3 together? Do I add 3 and 3 together? No. What do we do? Which is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. Okay? You didn't follow the rules of BODMAS.
There's a 4 there.
Oh, okay. Well, we're then adding 4, aren't we? Okay, my bad. We always add at the end. So, of course, that is 13. Okay, just quickly, girls, I'm going to I know that this has taken just a little bit in, but I promise you next time I'll give you a bit more time. Substituting the numbers just quickly. We've got minus 5. We're just, wherever that number is, we're substituting it. C, though, is negative 1. So we're actually plussing negative 1. Okay, so it's minus 5 plus 3 minus 1, which is minus 3. Make sure you correct that, please. 6b, 6 times 3, if you like. You can even put a bracket. 4 times minus 5 is going to be 18 minus 20, which is what? Minus 2 is correct. 10bc, 10 times b, which is 3, and we're substituting c, which is negative 1, and a is negative 5. Would you maybe work those out first? Okay, what's the top? What's the numerator? Negative 30. Negative 30 divided by negative 5, Georgia, is positive 6. Well done. We're nailing this. I stands for indices or power of in BODMAS. We've got to do powers first. What's a squared, by the way?
Negative 5.
Negative 5 times negative 5, which is what?
25.
Positive 25. Then we can also, so we can do that. So that's 25. What's inside the brackets? What's b minus c?
3 times negative 1.
3 take away negative 1. Okay. What's 3 take away negative 1? What does that become?
Positive.
Positive. What's 3 plus 1? 4. So 25 times 4 is 100. Those ones are a bit tricky, okay? You make a silly mistake. Now, just quickly, I've got Venetia over here who's just going to explain to me the process. Venetia, do you want to start?
So there are 7 jumps between 45 and negative 32.
Great. Okay, 7 jumps.
And the difference between 45 and negative 32 is 77.
Okay, so 45, if I had 45 take away negative 32, then that is equal to 77, okay? That becomes a positive. Now, so what that means is how many we're going down each jump?
Since there are 7 jumps, you have to divide 77 by 7.
Yeah.
Which is 11.
Is 11. So we're going down by 11, aren't we? So we've got 45. You can tell me what that they are.
34.
Yep.
23.
23.
12.
12.
1.
1.
Negative 10.
Negative 10.
Negative 21.
Negative 21. And finally, we've got 56 and 67. Well done. Well done. Okay, girls, you just remember that this YouTube will be available in half an hour, and you can watch it tonight before you have your test tomorrow. Okay. So this will save you time. Okay, I promise it will be done in a few minutes. Okay. Now, 2 teams will compete. How many players are in total? We've got 72 players. We've got 40 and 32. But just quickly, so if I had 30 and 42, I've got factor trees. Now, because they're even numbers, I don't have to do 10 and 3. Some people might do 10 and 3. I always do 2 for even numbers because 2 is the smallest prime number. So I do 2 and 21. Now, of course, 15 can be broken up into 3 times 5, and they both indeed are primes. So therefore, we can say we have not answered the question yet. We need to do it's a product of prime factors. 2 times 3 times 5 is 30. And, of course, 21 is not a prime. So 21 is 3 times 7, isn't it? Now, if I've got 3 times 7, let's have a look how long we've got. We're in 17 minutes. So 42 is equal to what? 2 times 3 times 7. Now, can I just ask a question? If this was 84, what would this be? What would this 2 be, do you think? 2 would be 2 squared, okay? So this one's a pretty straightforward one. Now, it's asking for 2 things, the lowest common multiple and the highest common factor. Which one's easier, girls? Shout it out. The highest common factor is the easy one, so the easier one. What do they have in common? 3 and a 2, 3 and a 2. So, of course, the highest common factor is 3 times 2, which is 6, okay? 3 times 2, which is 6. And finally, the lowest common multiple is the unique. Which is unique? What is unique? Do they both have 2s? Well, we just need to see 1, 2, okay? Do we see a 3? Do we see a 5? Do we see a 7? 6 5s are 30. 30 times 7 is 210. You're going to have some pretty big numbers with lowest common multiple. That's why often it's very hard. And just finally, girls, the average of 10 numbers I want to see working. If you give me an answer and you just write minus 16, how many marks do you think you get? That's 1 mark. So I'm just going to show you one way. You can do it another way if you like. But if I'm averaging 10 numbers, I'm dividing by 10. So if you just did this, I need to find a number that's going to give me that. What does that number become? What does that number become? What divided by 10 gives me negative 5? Negative 50. Okay, now, all of a sudden, so all you need to do is show me that, because now if I add a number, what do I have to divide it by if I'm taking the average? I've now got 11 numbers. So what would I divide it by? 11. Okay, and that means I need to find out what's inside this box, because my average we've been told, is minus 6. What would have to go in here to give me that minus 6? What divided by 11? negative 66. So what number have I added to negative 50 to get negative 66? No, negative 16. Okay, so the answer, the magical number is I've added minus 16. Girls, give yourself a mark out of 45, and thank you for that. I know that that took a little bit longer.